I just need you to know that if you ever do anything to hurt her while you're here now moving forward,
I'll ruin your life.
2 seconds later.
Welcome back to another 90 Day Fiancé recap. Let's talk OG 90 Day Season 11, Episode 10, starting with Gregory and Joan. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't wait to
rip him a new one.
Okay, so Gregory has a job interview. Yeah, it's a state job that involves plumbing, electricity, and carpentry. What kind of job could it be that involves all 3 skills? I feel like that's kind of a lot for one job title. After he leaves, Lucille and Joan are by themselves at home. So Lucille asks Joan, hey, do you want to help me with a project that I have? And Joan is like, yeah, okay, sure. So then Lucille goes into her room. She grabs a giant laundry basket filled with misfit socks. And she's like, yeah, I've been wanting to do this, so I thought we could do this together. And I'm thinking, okay, Gregory couldn't do that with all the free time that he has?
I'm kind of confused.
Oh, yeah, these are good. How do you guys do laundry?
Just wash it with our hands.
Oh.
It can take me like 3 to 4 hours.
Wow.
Lucille talks about how she was very impressed with Joan the other night because she took it upon herself to clean and mop the bathroom, which Lucille is not used to because Greg never does that. He never cleans. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to mention that I don't know how I missed it in this episode, if it was covered in the episode, but you guys were telling me that Lucille does Uber or DoorDash deliveries on the side.
What?
She does that on the side for income while Greg sits on his fucking ass in front of his computer playing video games and baking his not that great looking sourdough bread. Are you freaking kidding me? Why can't he Uber or DoorDash?
He should be doing that.
Oh, hell no.
So then Lucille asks Joan how she's doing, how she likes it in New York, how she's liking living with Lucille. And Joan's like, yeah, everything's good. You know, I do miss my family and my food and my culture. And Lucille's like, yeah, I understand. And then Joan goes, yeah, I'd love some more privacy. And Lucille goes, oh, privacy. Okay. And then Joan's like, yeah, you're home way too much. You should go out more. Like,
every day.
You're always home most of the time. I think you should go more.
Oh my god. That was so awkward. Now, Joan in her confessional says that she's a straight shooter. She's very blunt. She doesn't beat around the bush. And she feels like Greg is the way he is because of Lucille and because she babies him so much. And honestly, like, I do agree. I absolutely do. But at the same time, this is Miss Lucille's house. I feel like it was it was very inappropriate for Joan to tell Lucille to leave the house more. And it wasn't even like in a joking manner. I mean, but for her to just be like, yeah, you should leave the house more. You're always home. And that doesn't leave me and your son any privacy.
Why would she say something like that? I have been very accommodating to them. Maybe she is an appreciative person.
Are you kidding me? Oh, hell no. Nobody's gonna tell me to leave my own house, especially when I'm extending my hospitality to you to stay while I'm paying the bills. No. What do you guys think? I know people are on opposite ends of the scale on this one. So Lucille's like, oh, well, I'm a little offended that you'd say that to me. I mean, after all, this is my house. And Joan goes, yeah, you're right. We're the intruders here. We're going to leave soon, and I can't wait until we leave. Oh, well, damn. I just feel like Joan is a little too serious.
But it's also your house. You're free to stay.
Yeah.
We'll leave this house soon.
So I bet you'll be happy about that, huh?
I'll be very happy.
So Greg is back from his job interview and he's not feeling too confident about it. They asked a bunch of technical questions and he answered them the best he could, but he couldn't tell if they liked his answers because they were very, they had a straight face. They didn't really laugh. They didn't smile. They didn't give him a nod. They didn't give him a chuckle. They just all had poker faces. By the way, I hate when that happens, whether it's a job interview or if you're talking to someone or even if you're at like a doctor's appointment and you're trying to make small talk, like you're trying to make things less awkward and they're just like, yeah, okay. Next. And it's like, oh my God, how awkward. So Greg catches up with his mom and his mom's like, how'd the job interview go? And he's like, I don't really know, but we'll see. And then Lucille tells him about how Joan told her to leave the house more. And he's like, oh, well, I don't think she meant to offend you, Ma. She's just very straightforward, but like, we appreciate you for everything that you do.
Okay.
So Greg goes outside, talks to Joan about what she said to Lucille and how she should leave the house more. And Joan's response was, well, I was testing her patience. What does that mean?
I just wanted to see her reaction, testing her patience.
Are you testing my patience?
You know I can test your patience also.
And then she got upset because he took his mother's side instead of hers. But damn, I don't know. I was so confused.
She was a little thrown off by it.
Life is not easy here in America because I have no one here. He has to stand for me, but he took his mom's side.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I feel like I have to side with Greg here. I think Joan was out of pocket for that comment. Now, I don't know if we're getting the full story or not, but from what we've seen, I don't know what she expected from him. Like, did she really want Greg to tell his mother to leave her house more so that they could get more privacy? What? Damn, they're not even 2 weeks in. I don't know how they're gonna last 2 years together under the same roof. Moving on to Mark and Mina. So Mina finally meets Jade. And Jade is very sweet. They get right into it, although the vibes are a little bit awkward at first, but it gets better. Mina tells Jade that she was told by Mark that he broke up with her, and Jade is like, oh, no. I broke up with him because he wanted to move to Boston and I didn't want to go. And then in her interview, she was like, do I think I was the one that got away? Yeah, probably. But I just wanted to note that it didn't show her saying that in one scene. Like, it was a voiceover and then she said, yeah, probably. So she could have been saying, yeah, probably to pretty much any other question, you know?
Do I think that I was the one who got away? I would say probably.
Mina's like, yeah, so your friend Diane told me that when Mark met me, he was still reaching out to you and trying to get back with you. And Jade was like, no. There was no overlap. I know for a fact that once he met you, like, he never reached out to me. And she tried to reassure her that she had nothing to worry about because Jade is also in a very happy relationship. So there's like no chance of them ever getting back together or like catching up or doing anything like that. But the iPad thing is true. Mark was talking to another woman while he and Jade were lying in bed together. She was literally right next to him when he was texting another woman about how he wanted to take her to Martha's Vineyard. And that was also one of the reasons why she didn't want to move to Boston and make the relationship work.
This man is laying in bed with me, but he's texting someone else about taking her to Martha's Vineyard.
Jade also warns her about his mother, how she's too involved in his relationship. I'm surprised that they didn't talk about Jordan, or Jade didn't mention anything about Jordan. So I don't know, maybe Jordan wasn't really much of a problem with Jade. I don't know. But honestly, it was pretty refreshing to see Jade and Mina get along. I feel like they could be friends in real life. They were vibing.
Maybe you're coming to my wedding is funny.
Oh, invite me and I'll be there. All right.
So Mina goes back home. She tells Mark everything went well, but Jade warned her about his family and his mother and how they could get way too involved in his relationships. And Mark is like, oh yeah, well, I'll work on that. Okay. And they hug and they make up, but I'm surprised that she didn't bring up the whole iPad Martha's Vineyard cheating thing. Why wouldn't she bring that up? Because if anything, that would have really bothered me, unless she knew about this already. Moving on to Stevie and Maddie. So Maddie has a surprise for Stevie. He's like, I'm going to take you somewhere, but you have to take me there because I can't drive. And the entire morning, she kind of has an attitude with him. So she's driving and then she gets to the destination and it's Ocean Springs. Apparently it's a place that she's been wanting to go for so long. And now she feels bad for being a bitch to him all morning.
I feel kind of bad for being a bitch. I'm sorry I wasn't so nice. I'm excited. But what are we doing now?
Didn't it seem like she was genuinely a little nervous and thrown off by this surprise? Like, I think she might have had an idea that he might have proposed or he was going to propose, but she wasn't really sure what to expect. He takes her to the beach and they're walking hand in hand. The sun is setting and then he tells her he is 100% committed to her. And she's like, are you sure? And he's like, yes, I'm 100% sure. Can you look over there? And then when she looks over, it's a very sweet setup in the sand, and it had candles, and it said, marry me, with rose petals. And it was so sweet. And he got down on one knee and he asked her to marry him. And I thought it was very sweet, and she cried, and he was emotional, and I thought it was a very beautiful moment, and the people behind them were cheering them on. And I did think it was funny how Maddie was like, yeah, she was very clear in what she wanted. She sent me videos of how the proposal goes, how the man bends down on one knee and pulls the ring out and asks her hand in marriage and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, it's pretty cringy, but that's what she wanted. So.
Will you marry me?
Now let's move on to Jessica and Juan. And ooh, I really want to talk. I'm like excited to talk about them because I feel like we might have a little disagreement, okay? So we see Juan taking care of his kids at home. The baby's crying. One of the older kids is sick. He wants mac and cheese for breakfast. And Juan takes out the mac and cheese box and he reads the directions and he makes it wrong. How do you make mac and cheese out of the box wrong? Like, it's literally so easy. Like, it actually made me mad.
Stir macaroni into 6 cups boiling water. Butter. And then cheese. I don't know, it doesn't seem right. I don't know. So in America, mac and cheese comes into a box. But we don't have that type of stuff in Colombia.
I don't give a fuck
that you've never made it in your life. There's 3 steps in total. Boil the pasta, drain the pasta, add the cheese and butter. That's it. How do you mess that up? The directions were not only simple, but it came with pictures. Okay, there were pictures. And he fucked it up. Oh, that made me so mad. And then Jessica comes home from work with her older son, and Juan's in the kitchen cooking some fish with, it looked like no seasoning, but you know what? I give him an A for effort because he did think to make dinner. And this is where Jessica pissed me off because Jessica was like, oh, you're cooking fish? I don't like fish. And my son doesn't like it either. Okay, then why the fuck do you have fish in the first place if nobody in your family likes it? And also, if he spent the whole entire day taking care of the kids and cleaning and cooking, then you shut your mouth and you eat the fish. Then I got annoyed with Juan because he was complaining about being the domestic partner. He feels like he's not made for this lifestyle. He wants to go out and work and then help.
Just a lot going on in my mind. It's overwhelming. It's just kind of makes me sad sometimes. You have your job. You feel useful. I feel useless here doing nothing all the time. I'm just taking care of the house. I don't think I'm made for this.
He tells Jessica, I feel like I'm doing nothing all day. All I do is house stuff. Just house stuff. I'm sorry, you said just house stuff? You feel like you did nothing all day but house stuff? Oh, that got me real annoyed. So does that mean that if the roles were reversed and if I'm home, you're going to think that I'm doing nothing all day? If he said that to me, I would have wanted to throw that baby's diaper in his face. Ooh, that pissed me off. So then Jessica's like, well, you know, I've been doing it for 6 months all by myself, taking care of 3 kids while going to work by myself. So I think it's just going to take some time for you to get used to it, okay? Suck it up. Buttercup, okay? This is what it takes to be a father. And you know what? Facts. I'm with Jessica, and I never thought I would agree with her, but I do agree. Suck it up, all right?
It definitely bothers me when Juan complains about having to watch David all day. I've been doing it for 6 months on my own, taking care of 3 kids, working, balancing it all.
And then he's like, well, I'm tired. I really need to get some sleep. In his confessional, he talks about how he really misses the cruise life. When he was free, single, with no responsibilities, he had to take care of nobody but himself. And yeah, it's pretty fucking nice. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, I'm gonna agree. But you have a kid now, all right? And it sounds like this is the consequences of your action. Actually, it shouldn't be even seen as a consequence. I mean, consequence isn't necessarily a negative thing, but there's an implication that consequences is largely negative. But I'm just saying, like, you did something and you got something because of the thing you did. So now you have to take responsibility for it, okay?
What I'm really hoping for is that what I'm feeling now will change. Because if not, I don't know if I could live here for the rest of my life.
Later that night, they go bowling with Jessica's scissor sister Megin and a few other friends. And oh my God, here we go again with the scissor sister blobbering away about the whole cheating thing. Oh my God, can somebody put a muzzle on her and shut her the fuck up? Because I swear, if she constantly said that to me every single time I saw her,
I would lose my mind. I would.
I think that's karma.
and I'm so glad Juan told her, oh, we're done talking about this. I'm not talking about this anymore with you. Like, done. She's like, if you do anything to hurt Jessica, you know I'm gonna ruin your life. I would have been like, bitch, what did you say? What did you? Shut the. You know what made this so much worse? Not only did she bring it up again, it's the fact that she did it in front of the entire group of friends. Like, it was like she wanted to humiliate him or embarrass him. And that was really fucking annoying. Like, let it go, scissor sister Megin. Let it go.
You ever do anything to hurt her while you're here now moving forward, I'll ruin your life.
Moving on to the throuple. They find out that Anie still accepts money and gifts from other men, which Amani's not too happy with. And she's also not happy that Anie still dances at the strip club. And she's like, I don't want any man to look at Anie the way I should be looking at Anie, by myself, to myself. She's mine. No other man should touch her and look at her. Okay, relax. Unless you want to pay all her bills and take care of her children, like, shut up, okay? This is her bread and butter. They also find out that Anie's kids don't know about Anie and Matt, and this pisses Anie off. She's like, oh my God, our kids know who you are and your kids don't? Like, what does that mean? Then they go to Anie's house and meet one of her daughters, Antonella. And Anie and Matt love seeing Anie in her element of being a mother, blah, blah, blah. And then Anie has to go to work, so they have to say their goodbyes. So Anie and Matt go to their hotel. Matt raises his concern about Anie being so mysterious, and he just doesn't feel secure. Like, he doesn't feel like Anie's really in it 100%. And Anie is holding on to that secret that Anie told her the other night, that Anie is only in this relationship for Anie and not Matt. Like, she doesn't give a fuck about Matt. It's all about Anie. So she's like, okay, I gotta tell Matt. She finally tells Matt, and then he's pissed off because he's like, wow, you hid this from me? Why didn't you tell me this? You need to be more honest with me, woman. And now he's having a mental crisis. He's like, okay, I'm gonna need some time to myself. I need to think about everything. And she's like, oh, everybody needs time. You need time. Anie needs time. What about me? Oh. And then we have Sarper and Shakina. I'm going to keep this real short. So Sarper and Shakina go to Montana. They ride some horses. He's very nervous about meeting her family. And 3 of the 5 sisters come to meet him. And they hate him. They are glaring him the fork down. Also, it is very interesting to see them. They're all like a different version of Shakina. And of course, that makes sense because they're sisters. But it's so funny because Shakina is like very LA. And then her sisters are very like Yellowstone, cowgirl, but make it fashion-esque styles. Like, it's so bizarre. One of the sisters was tatted neck down. Her boyfriend was like a Post Malone dupe. And then the other sister had like a Cruella de Vil type of hair going on. And then the last sister was very pretty, but she looked like an actress that I can't think of her name. But yeah, they were all different versions of Shakina. And Sarper was not on his best behavior. He acted very different with the sisters than he did with Sophie. I was very confused.
Do you all have geisha vibes like her? I mean,
Have what? What does that mean?
she does everything, working, she cooks, washes everything.
I think it's fair to say that they don't like him. And that's it for the recap. It was short and sweet, just like me. Well, let me know all your thoughts in the comments, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye!